Yo, what's going on YouTube? My name's SoFlo Sneakers and today's video is going to be part 2 in the AYCD Gmail series. So of course, if you haven't seen part 1, you're definitely going to want to check that one out before, so I'll leave a link in the description for that. In this video, I'm going to be going over a lot more specific information about Gmail farming, and I'm also going to go over a bunch of different tips and tricks that are really going to help your Gmail accounts gain trust much faster. So I have a ton of new information packed into this video and I'm very excited to share it with you guys, and I really think it's going to be super beneficial. So if you guys wouldn't mind, all I ask in return is that you drop a like and a comment because it helps the channel grow and I'd really appreciate it. Some of the information in this video can be found right on the AYCD guides on their website, so after this video I would definitely recommend checking those out and reading those articles because there's a ton of useful information in there. I'll leave a link down in the description for those as well. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is how well AYCD has actually been working for me. So over the past few weeks, I've been seeing significant increases in my trust score across some of my accounts, and it's just going super well, and I'm super excited about that. In no way is this video sponsored at all. Everything that I talk about is my personal experiences with AYCD and farming, and everything that I'm going to show you guys is exactly what I do for my Gmail accounts. So I pay very close attention to my Gmail accounts, and I actually take notes on everything going on with them. For example, I take notes on if the account has a security alert, if the account is 2FA enabled, if the account is a one-click, etc. And this basically just allows me to keep very close track of what's going on with my Gmails, and it allows me to make any adjustments if they're needed. I highly recommend that you guys do this as well, and you just start taking notes and you just kind of start logging everything about your Gmail accounts. I have like roughly 40 accounts now, and I know it's kind of a pain doing it for everyone, but I promise you guys it is super worth it, and you're really going to learn what's going on with your Gmail accounts and what's affecting it positively and what's affecting them negatively. So to get this video started, I'm going to talk about where I actually use AYCD to farm my Gmails. Personally, I use AYCD on a server, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. First of all, if you've seen my video on servers, you know that I use a Google Cloud server and it is 100% free. I have multiple Google Cloud accounts, so whenever my credits run out for one, I just swap to the other, so it's basically just like I'm resetting my credits. So doing this basically allows me to run AYCD full-time for free, and the best part about it is that I'm not taking any resources away from my PC. This isn't necessary at all, and you can 100% run AYCD on a local host, but you might be limited to the amount of accounts you can farm at the same time, and like I said, it's going to be using up resources on your PC. So I'm actually going to hop over into the server now. So now since I'm on AYCD in my server, we're just going to kind of jump right into things, and at this point you should already have your accounts and your proxies pretty much set up and ready to go in your AYCD. And then the first thing that I always do is I go through and I clear any security alerts on my accounts. So a security alert can pop up on your account for a few different reasons. The first reason is a device change. So for example, if I'm running on my PC and then I switch over to my server, this is more than likely going to throw a security alert on the account for a device change. The second reason could be a browser change. So more likely than not, the solver within your bot is going to be using a different browser than AYCD uses, so even something as simple as signing into the solver on your bot could throw a security alert onto your account for a browser change. The last reason, which I've seen a few times, is critical security alerts, and you definitely don't want any of these on your accounts, and that's basically when someone's trying to hack you, if they're trying to recover your account, anything along those lines. I've had all of these alerts before, and I just clear them, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that now. So I'm just going to pick a random account, and I already went through and cleared all of my security alerts, but I'm going to show you guys exactly where it would be and how to do it. So the first thing we want to do is open up a manual browser in AYCD, and how we do that is we just come over here to the little eyeball and we click yes, and then it says, do you want to start the browser to show it? And we are just going to hit yes. So now we have our manual browser up, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to type in gmail.com. So at this point, if the account is brand new and you've never used it in AYCD before, you're going to have to sign into your account. But since I've been using this account on AYCD for a while, I'm already signed in and good to go. So once you sign in, you're going to want to hit the icon here, and then you're going to want to hit manage your Google account. So like I said, my security alerts are already cleared, but if I did have one, this is where it would be right here. So I'm under the Home tab, and you can also find this under the Security tab up here. But you see how it says we keep your account protected and there's a check mark? If there was a security alert, it would say security issue found, and then instead of this green check mark, it would be like a yellow caution sign. So then what you're going to want to do, it's not going to say get started, it's going to say something else about the alert, so you're going to click here. So once again, mine doesn't have a security alert, it says no issues found, but if you're using this account for the first time on AYCD, it's more than likely going to throw one. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come down here to recent security events, and you're going to want to confirm that everything on the account was you. This mostly just applies to if you're buying an account from a provider, because if you made an account yourself or this is your main Gmail and you don't recognize something on the account, you should definitely recover the account and secure it right away. But if this is a new Gmail account that you just bought or you made or whatever it is, and you go to the recent security events, then all you're going to want to do is just confirm that everything was you, and then the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to your devices, and it could say 4 or 5 signed in devices. You just want to sign out of every one that is not you. Security alerts are pretty much super easy to get cleared up, and they can really be holding your account back from gaining trust with Google, so you definitely want to make sure that one of the first things you do is go ahead and clear any security alerts on every single one of your accounts. So once you've gone ahead and done that, the next thing that I like to do is sign up for some recurring emails. So we're going to kind of do this the same way, where we're going to open up the manual browser. And this time, instead of going to Gmail, we're going to go to some different websites. And my all-time favorite one is Groupon, because those guys send a lot of emails over there. So we're just going to go on to groupon.com. So right away, it asks you for your email address for recurring emails, and that's exactly what we want. So we're just going to type in our email now. So there's a ton of different websites that you can go and do this on. You can go on Packers Shoes, Juice Store, Sephora. There's so many different websites you can do it, and I'm sure you guys have some in mind right now that just send you a bunch of emails all day long. So what this is going to do basically is it's just going to create some additional human activity on the account, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to make our account look as human-like as possible, so signing up for some of these recurring emails is just going to add to the human-like effect that we're trying to put onto our accounts. So after you clear your security alerts and after you signed up for some recurring emails just to get some human-like activity on the account, the next step is very, very important, and that's going to be enabling 2FA on your account. If you don't know what 2FA is, it stands for two-factor authentication, and it's basically just an added layer of security when you're signing into your account. This can be through a phone number, or this can be through the Authenticator app. There's a bunch of different other ways, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about now. So I'm going to pick this account right here, and then I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to open up a manual browser, and then I'm going to go on to gmail.com, and then we're going to come over to the same area, manage your Google account, and then this time we are going to go to security. And then if you scroll down right here, you can see that two-step verification is currently off for this account, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn it on. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit get started, and then it's going to ask you to type in your password again, which I'm going to do now. So once you type your password in, you're going to come up to this page next, and it's going to ask you to put in a phone number. So there used to be something related to the phone numbers where you could typically only verify 5 to 10 Gmail accounts with one phone, with one SIM card basically. But now it seems like you can kind of do as many as you want, because I've done 2FA on a lot of accounts and I haven't got any error messages from Google or anything. So if anyone has any different experiences, make sure to leave that down in the comments below. But for me at least, I've been able to use my phone number on mostly all of my accounts. So like I said, let me know if you see something different with that, but for me, that's what's been happening, and I've been talking to some other friends and that's happening as well, which is super good and super positive. So I'm just going to type my phone number in here, and then we're going to go to the next page. So it just texted my phone with the code which I typed in, and now all we're going to do is turn on two-step verification, and now we are good. So two-step verification is on, so we are good to go. So the next thing that I like to do once two-step verification is turned on is I like to add my account to the Authenticator app. So that's right here. So basically you just hit setup, and then you pick if you have an iPhone or an Android, you hit next, and then you're just going to scan this barcode once you download the app on your phone, and then it's going to add the account to the app on your phone. So next time you want to sign in, it could ask you for the Authenticator, and so you just go on the app and then you type in the 6 numbers that are next to the account, and just keep in mind that these numbers constantly change, so it's super, super secure as long as you have your phone and don't lose that, of course. So after you turn on two-step verification and you get the Authenticator app set up, what I like to do is I just like to sign out of my account, and then I like to sign in again with the two-step verification. And when you do this, you're going to see a checkbox that says do not ask me again on this device, and I always check that off because once I do two-step verification once on my server or on the one device, then it won't ask you to do it again, which is super beneficial. But if you wanted to sign into your Gmail on another device or someone else was trying to get into your Gmail, then it would ask again for the two-step verification so your account is super secure. Using 2FA increased the trust on your account dramatically. So I'd highly recommend doing 2FA for most of your accounts, if not all. I don't have 2FA enabled for every account just because, like what I said before, where I'm always experimenting and testing new things and kind of trying out what's happening. But the accounts that I do have 2FA on seem to be doing super well, and they get super trusted very quickly compared to the other accounts. So I definitely recommend doing this for most of your accounts, if not all. So another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick was the testers in AYCD and how they're technically not accurate. So what I mean by they're not accurate is just because you get a 0.9 score on AYCD doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a 0.9 score on other websites, for example, Yeezy Supply. So let's just say you just made a brand new account and you've been farming it for about a week. There's a good chance that this account could already be at a 0.9 just because it hasn't ran into any security alerts. It's a brand new account made on one IP, whatever it may be, so there's a good chance that this new account could have a 0.9. Does that mean the account is trusted by Google? Not necessarily. So this is why I said in the first video that my ultimate goal is to get all of my accounts to 1 clicks. So as you can see, I'm at 12 out of 41, but I just added in about 15 new accounts a few days ago, so I'm getting there. Like I've been saying, guys, this is a process and it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a week, you know? It really takes time to get trusted Gmails, and it's definitely a process, but in my opinion, it's 100% worth it, and I feel like I've been learning a lot throughout the whole process, so I'm super pumped about that. But what I was getting at is basically when you have a 1-click, you know that your account is trusted by Google, and more than likely, if you have a 1-click, you already have a 0.9 score. So the reason that I want to get all my accounts to 1-clicks is so that I know that they're actually going to be trusted accounts when I'm going onto different sites like Yeezy Supply, Shopify, whatever it may be, Supreme. So that's why I strive for 1-clicks, just so I know that it's a 0.9 and it is a trusted account. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was just some proxy information. So I've heard of people running a 2-to-1 Gmail to proxy ratio. So for every 2 Gmail accounts, they just use 1 proxy for both of them. I've personally never done this, but it's actually something that I'm going to try in the future just to see if it works, because if it works the same as a 1-to-1 ratio, which is what I've been doing, then you can basically save money on proxies and only have to buy half the amount needed. So if you guys want to try that out, I definitely say go for it. You know, run some accounts with 2-to-1 ratio and run others with the 1-to-1. Like I said, I only do a 1-to-1 ratio just because I'm playing it safe. Another thing about proxies is you 100% want to be using a trusted provider. I cannot stress this enough, guys. If you're using bad proxies to farm your Gmails, you are going to get nowhere. You're going to be wasting your time. You're going to be wasting your money. Once again, guys, I'm not sponsored. Cookie proxies, Oculus proxies, Red Dirt proxies, there you go. Those 3 have worked super well for me, and I know a bunch of people in the community that use those as well. So those are my 3 recommendations. I'm not sponsored. They work great for me. I personally use Oculus and Cookie. I have a friend who uses Red Dirt, and all of his Gmails have been killing it, a lot of 0.9s. So guys, just get a good proxy provider, please. And the good thing about captcha proxies is they're not that expensive. Guys, make sure to smash that like button if you feel like you learned something. It really helps the channel out, and I really appreciate it. And as always, if you have any questions whatsoever, not even about this video, about sneaker botting, reselling in general, feel free to ask them down in the comments below, and I'll make sure to check those out. And lastly, make sure you subscribe for more videos. I'm not stopping anytime soon, and I really appreciate the support. So on that note, I'll catch you guys on the next one.